Author name XX Steggy. Story title: My great-great-grandparents went into an alternate dimension. This story has been told to me many times by my maternal grandma. She's a spiritual woman who's always been in tune with spirits, energies, etc. And she isn't the type of person to lie about something like this. Each time, the details are the same. My great-great-grandparents, grandma's parents, I don't know their names, we can just call them Jane and John, lived on a farm in New Jersey, on the outskirts of a town. This particular thing happens on a Sunday. Story: Jane and John are walking into town in the afternoon, probably 1 or 2 p.m. They like to stroll around and be the typical older couple. They've lived in this area for upwards of 20 years, so they know the entire town like the back of their hands. They're friends with everyone, as this town is a small everyone knows everyone type of place. So they're walking around, no aim in mind. They comment on how sunny it is, and how there isn't a cloud in the sky. They absent-mindedly turn down a street. They then see this bridge that they never noticed before. Confused, they decided to go investigate, as they have no rush to go anywhere else. They go over to the bridge and comment on how they've never noticed it before. They're absolutely dumbfounded. How have they never seen this bridge before? There's nothing else back this way that they know of, so what does it lead to? Naturally, they go over to the bridge. It's beautiful, cast iron, floral decorations, all the good stuff. It puts them out onto a random street that they don't recognize, but that is assumed to be the middle-ish of the town. They aren't alarmed by this, but they're alert. They walk around a bit more, not really taking notice of anything else too drastically different. Once they're done with their walk, they head home and ask everyone else about the bridge. What bridge? Everyone replied. They are obviously shocked. They sit down with each other and discuss the experience. They both agree on a simple fact. They went onto a street that wasn't there. That street led to a bridge that wasn't there. There were buildings that weren't real. They went to this entirely new thing that wasn't real and somehow made it back. They talk about how it had clouded over a bit. No one else was walking around. They didn't really recognize the area, but based off where they thought they were, it seemed like the names of businesses were slightly off. A shop that was called Dave's could be Dan's or something. Not anything major, but still noteworthy. Yet they couldn't be 100% sure. My grandma agrees with me in that she thinks tiny things were altered, but they may not have noticed or mentioned it to anyone else outside themselves. The thing that is always emphasized to me when the story is being told is how no one else was outside. This happened in World War II. Cars weren't commonplace. Everyone walked everywhere. So, where was everyone? My grandma's parents made a huge grid of the streets of the town and made a point to walk down every single road to find the one with the bridge on it. My grandma's father was a very methodical man, and he devised a plan to find the street and the bridge again, as they couldn't remember the street name or how they got there. They used the huge grid, which they spent weeks on, to rule out every direction and possible route. They never did find the mystery street with the bridge. Her dad even consulted the city planners, who would look at him and ask, "What street?" just like the family did. That's my story. Sorry for the length. My grandma is a big believer in parallel dimensions and the like, and she believes that her parents went to another dimension where the town was slightly altered. Personal thoughts. So I agree with your grandma's assessment and yours. The shift was to another reality, one similar to ours. But it's just incredible. The more I read from the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit, the more I realize how many experiences similar to this there are. Crossovers or sightings of other realities, just briefly. It's fascinating. But it's also wild to know that, yeah, this isn't some new phenomenon to humanity. It seems like it's been happening for a very long time, even a century ago. I'm just always left wondering, what on earth actually triggers the crossover? I wonder if we'll ever find out. Have you, or do you know anyone, who's ever crossed over? They may not even have been aware. Theoretically, you could cross over, and there could be literally one thing different in the entire world. Or it might be something so imperceptibly small. In fact, perhaps we're always crossing over all the time. We just don't realize, because the changes are so minute. Well, let me know in the comments if you have any similar experiences. And as always, if you liked the video, show it some love.